to involve her. And I don't want anything else worse to come out of this. She's gonna need, I don't know, someone looking out for her or something. I just want to make sure, you know.
And he'll just kind of look away, and he'll be like, I really don't think I'm the right person for that then at the moment.
Why not? It's your perfect
Well,
in.
well, I know that she had a you're just gonna be a special kind of friend.
A special kind of friend.
Yes.
Well, she doesn't anymore.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, what do you mean not anymore? Just because he's out of the city doesn't mean that she can't see him, right?
She'd have to leave for that to happen. And I don't want her to.
Oh.
I mean, do you?
Well, no, but seeing another guy isn't going to make her feel better. That's just kind of slapping things in the face, saying, "Hey, here's your replacement." If you can forget about the guy you really liked.
Listen, I'm not saying you have to roll up and fill in the spot he had, but I meant that I just think she needs, I don't know. I don't want her to just be going through something alone, and I don't think he's good for her. She's not a bad person or anything.
I know
She
she's
just
not a bad
picks,
person, Akira.
yeah, but she just picks interesting people to hang out with.
This is a really awkward conversation.
Yeah. Oh
Uh,
shit.
Talking about that kind of stuff about another girl is, well, I don't exactly enjoy it.
Why not? I mean,
Like,
I know it's not exactly haha funland, but it's kind of like real. I mean,
I,
there's no point being around the bush. She's gonna
well,
probably hate us, and I don't want her to, I don't know. I don't want her to leave. I want her to have a reason to stick around. And you're a good person. I think she needs a good person in her life.
I mean, well, clubs cancelled because there's tests the next day.
Yeah.
And we kind of have different circles and stuff. Uh,
You kind
I've
of have
kind
a
of
big
just,
circle, bud. People kind of gravitate towards you. You don't think it'd be too weird if you at least reached out to her?
I just don't want to be seen as that guy who's looking for an opportunity now that, you know,
Then
things have
don't look for an
changed.
opportunity. Look for being a good person, I guess. I mean, I'm not telling you to be a rebound. I'm saying just want to know she'll be okay, and I think you'd want her to be okay also.
I mean, I guess.
You're not just trying to avoid this because you're nervous, are you?
Mm, No,
Do you want me to do an understanding, or can I just assume?
you can just assume.
Just let us snicker. Ah. See? She just like smacks him on the shoulder. You don't have to worry about this sort of stuff. You can worry about getting to know her without being so nervous during this time. She probably needs a friend more than anything else right now, anyway. And from there, you
Wouldn't
can
one of the
see where
girls
it
he
goes.
hangs out with be better? Jury Iger?
Yeah. Eh, they're both great, but, they're not.
So you are trying to meddle then?
I'm meddling a little bit. All right, fine. But I already
It's a
said
really
that.
bad time to do this. I mean, I know I'm not great at this stuff, but
I'm
even
not
I
saying
knew
meddle
that.
right now, but I'm saying just... I just thought you'd be a fine person to make sure she's fine with, okay? Jeez.
I mean, I can keep an eye out.
Right. Plus, I'm sick of you pussyfooting around her.
You know, she's an independent woman. She can make her own choices, and she doesn't need to. She doesn't need to take into account some guy's feelings.
Right. But you're an independent man, and you can try and, put your feelings out there. Or at least just put yourself out there. Let her figure it out herself. I mean, you kind of just need to leave an impression.
You guys have it needs to come naturally. You can't force it. I don't know why I'm talking about this with you. And he'll just kind of put his hands through his hair.
Oh, come on. Who else would you talk about this with? Daichi or Raph? Daichi would tell you to do a rebound, and Raph would be confused why you're talking about this. And then he'd ask you if you could teach him a new magic trick.
It's just something I keep to myself, like, I'm only 15.
I know, but now's the time to experience this sort of thing. You have the feelings. You've kind of made that clear to anyone who's not blind. And you're saying you don't want to force it, but it's okay. You can't just sit around and wait for something to happen. You're not forcing it if you're seeking it. If you care about someone, you kind of have to act a little bit.
Well, you gotta understand my reservation here.
Well, yeah, it's scary. I fucking know.
Well, I was gonna invite her to my party anyway.
Right. Your party?
You didn't get the email?
Just checks her phone. Oh! Sick. Right. Yeah. But, right. But still, I mean, on the holidays, she'll probably be back home with Koharu, and, that doesn't probably sound very appealing to her right now, so I'm just worried that she might not go back.
Oh, you must have really messed up if I'm the person you first think of.
No. I said you're a reliable guy. That's why I thought of you first. Besides, I know you have good intentions at heart. You're too sweet to be tricky or sneaky.
Jeez.
What? You're
sounding like an aunt.
I feel like an aunt with you. You act like you're a little bashful 10-year-old.
Thanks.
Hey, man, I meant it nicely. You're a real gentleman. You just need to have a bit more backbone.
Oh, well, 10-year-olds don't have pecs like these. He'll just kind of lift up his shirt.
Shit. No, they don't. And Naomi would love to see those.
He'll just kind of be like, no, it wasn't meant to be a sexual thing. I was just saying I wasn't a 10-year-old.
Well, yeah, you're certainly not a 10-year-old. I'm sure she'd be happy to hear that.
Is that all you wanted to talk about? Because, I've got places to hang out with guys.
I can let you go. Oh, yeah. Because I'm a girl. Right. You kind of got over that.
I mean, if you weren't a girl, why'd you keep your hair so long?
I thought it looked nice.
Well, there you go.
Why do you keep your hair like that?
I just frost the tips.
Okay, that's more than I've ever done to my hair.
I mean, you've got to comb your hair. Unless it's knotted.
Just kind of runs a hand for it. A couple times a week.
A week?
Yeah,
And he'll just kind of take out his comb. It will go towards Akira.
She'll take like a step back instinctively. And then go, if you get to comb my hair, you promise me that you're going to be looking out for her, okay?
I thought those pats were you freshly done.
Toki.
Oh god, this is affecting my OCD like crazy.
Just agree to it then.
Fine. I'll ask her to hang out Saturday.
Good. Thank you.
Sit down.
All right. And thank you. Ow, fuck's sake.
Holy shit, this is bad.
All right. And then, yeah. Oh, good old Matoki. He's such a sweetheart.
Alright. I guess we'll go back.
You're swearing all the way.
Yeah. That's a bit too happy, isn't it? All of these are
That's
happy.
bumping, though. Well, but it's so bumping. Sometimes sadness can be bumping.
Only if you're Flow Rider.
Alright, so I guess we'll go back to Rio then.
Oh, good. Yeah. That'll be fun.
Let's get this Naomi thing out of the way.
Yeah.
They won't have to worry about it ever again.
Let's get this Naomi thing out of the way. The tagline for like the last 3 months.
Going from talking about Naomi to talking to Naomi.
Whoa! It's so meta!
Alright, so, I thought about it, and it's like when Rio first realized he had a message, he'd be a little happier because, oh, someone wants me. And then it's like, oh, fuck. But I think he's gonna go. The only question is how long he's gonna put it off. So I'm just gonna roll his courage.
You'll get a plus
courage,
one
not
from
diligence.
your Naomi modifier.
Okay. He doesn't really want to rush over there because he knows this is going to be unpleasant, but he starts heading towards where she said to meet her.
So he's just walking over.
Yeah. He was probably somewhere... Where would you say the gas station is? Because he was probably somewhere around just this side of the Sade Shikaku by then.
I'd say it's the gas station is probably like 5 minutes out from the city.
Okay.
So you'd need to it would be a very long walk if you went by walking. So
Very long?
yeah, so you probably might want to take a bus. There's a bus stop near it.
Yeah, okay. We'll take a bus. Buses are slow.
You get free bus fare because student pass.
Yay!
But outside of the city, obviously, you don't.
Bumping.
So this is like the last stop.
Mm-hmm.
The last stop. That's ominous.
That's, yeah.
I guess. Can you roll me your knowledge roll?
Yes. Does anything apply to that?
I asked you last time and you failed, so the same modifier.
I don't remember what the same modifier... Oh, the Asade City modifier?
Yes. Alright, so I guess as you're traveling down there, you remember this is where we came out from the rift. I guess it escaped your mind before.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is the place where you came out of in the future.
Yeah, where we came out a bit away from the city. That's also ominous. That gives him a very nervous feeling in the pit of his stomach. Okay. So what happens when the bus pulls in?
Alright, so obviously it'll be a little bit of a walk to the gas station. It's not literally right next to it.
Mm-hmm. Right. Alright, I'll start heading there.
Alright. So, alright, so I guess you'll notice her hair. I'd say it's a silver today.
A silver. Oh.
Yeah, she's like a
That's-
dull grey. You know, like it's hip to dye your hair grey nowadays.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Good.
And she's kind of sitting on, like you get, it's probably not in America, but you get roads here that have like a little bit of greenery on the sides.
Yes.
And it's not a busy road because,
Right. Yeah, because it's
She's gonna
outside
sit-
the city.
yeah. So I guess she's kind of sitting on like a wooden stump,
A
as
stump.
part of a fence that's kind of
Okay.
been not
It's part of
maintained.
a fence.
Yeah,
Like
the
the
stump-
wooden
the post.
fence,
Yeah.
the wooden
Yeah.
post with like the
Yeah.
barbed wire kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Barbed wire.
Not
Okay,
barbed wire.
that's-
Yeah.
So, a post.
I know what you mean. The
Got
wire fences with posts, not full
Mhm.
wood fences. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a pretty image.
That's a pretty melancholy way to sit. All right, let's go over. Let's start going over. He's not gonna say anything until he gets close, and if she hasn't noticed anything, then he will. But what happens?
All right. So she's just kind of staring out she's kind of staring out towards where the road extends onwards, and she checks her PDA every now and again to see if she gets a message.
So she checks it multiple times in the few seconds Rio's walking up.
Yes.
Okay. Alright, well he's gonna stop and just kinda look around for a bit. Then he's going to say, "You asked for me?"
You came. Right. Well, it's probably a good thing you did then. And you can kind of see like there's when you don't scratch but you don't break the skin when you scratch, but like there's red marks.
Yeah, I'm familiar with things like
Yeah,
that.
Rio, the Mr. I can't stop clawing my face. I think he knows.
Yeah, but like her
Yeah,
arms are
I'm familiar with that.
like her arms are exposed, and it seems like she has a bad rash from like ivy or something.
Mm-hmm. A tasteful thing to do is not to comment on that. And he'll say, "Right, well, it's not as though I could ignore it after everything that happened."
Well, I'm not going to scream and shout at you. My throat kind of hurts already from doing that.
Right. And he'll just kind of look away and said, "I suppose my imagination on the way over here already provided that anyways."
Right. You know where we are, don't you?
And he'll look around and say, "Let's see. Yes, we're in the outskirts of the city name, at a gas station. It's one of the borders for the city." And he'll just stop for a moment. "And it's where we found ourselves inside that one aspect of it."
I always knew there was something going on. Let's just say I have my sources, but, I never really knew the extent of things before we went in there, and after we went in there, that just strengthened my resolve and even more. And, well, my opportunity has been taken away from me, so the only thing I want to ask is, why you, out of everybody else, I figured you'd be the one who'd be most celebratory right now. You could have just let them have it. I don't even know who the other one is. Probably out for, some dark deal, light deal shit. But why you?
He's going to look away for a bit. He's going to turn and look down the road too, and then he's going to say, I don't know the whole of the answer, honestly. I felt like there was something I had to do, something I wasn't seeing, and he'll look down and he'll say, and I felt like I didn't want to let someone else end something like that. If it's going to end, then I wanted to be involved with it. Because that's the only way any of us can take the responsibility.
You were the ones who told him, weren't you?
Yes. Yes, we did.
I didn't think he'd actually go ahead and do it.
Well, it seemed like a very appealing offer. Get help from someone like that to track down a demon we hadn't been able to track down. But then, when they got back and said that the church said they would handle the whole of it, I didn't like that.
Well, what are you expecting? I figured you, out of all the people, would know how you even got the thing in the first place. Tell me all about it, you know. The eggs, the fact that Kulaks and Krasniks, they're the only type of demon who can function like a persona without being attached to a human. And that's why there were so many of them. You guys took the egg out of the tower itself. You didn't think that going to the church they'd want it back? Look, you can't be that incompetent. Really?
And he's going to say, truth be told, yes, somewhat beforehand, but that didn't really matter. I mean, if we took the egg from them and they get it back, that seemed fine to me for the longest time. It seemed fine to me that that Kudlak just disappeared. It was only when it actually was becoming apparent that I thought maybe we weren't seeing the whole picture, that we were being a bit too rash. After all, the only thing we knew directly from him was that, well, he said he was working on something. Of course, we didn't trust him, but that led to this situation. I didn't go to the church that night when we made the offer. If I had, I might still have done the same choice. I might still have sicked them on him. But because I didn't, I guess I regretted that I wasn't able to make the choice.
So you're just going to say you'll take on everybody else's responsibilities.
And he'll look down and say, everyone's responsible for what they do. But at the end of the day, someone somewhere is going to be responsible for that person. Not their actions, but for them. And truth be told, I always wanted to be that kind of person who could be responsible for others.
Right. And I guess you'll just kind of cut her right wrist and she'll be like, I see, so you did want that in the end. But yet you came out to see for yourself and you stopped what you wanted. It's weird.
It is weird. But even though I feel guilty about it, and everyone's saying that it's fine, it all worked out well in the end, I don't think... I don't think that he was wrong when he said that in a lot of ways we weren't really that different that night. It's fairly obvious that Rio is talking about the conversation he had with Kudlak. Right?
Yeah, but she was unconscious during.
Yeah, I know. But she can assume that he's talking about Kudlak, right?
She's not retarded.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
He's making sure he said it obviously enough, is what he's saying, and I'd say yes.
When it comes to making you think, you were certainly good at that.
You know, he said it would be easier if he was the way he used to be. It might be something special about the Kresniks and Kudlaks, how they're the only demon able to be themselves apart from a human, but, well, I don't know what to think about demons. We've made them. They live in our beliefs, in our dreams, in our history. Doesn't that make us responsible for them? Doesn't that make everything they do, good or bad, something that we caused? And in that light, can we really see that a demon is evil? We made it that way. Can we really see that a demon is good? We made it that way. I don't know what to think about demons.
And she'll just say that we might think that, well, we have the ability to do anything, but we simply got the hand-me-downs of some guy who decided to write about a bird. Well, I forgot what the persona is again. Some guy who started to write about some woman who was born from his semen. And that's my persona.
My persona is part of a collection of 66 Lords of Hell, which is part of a greater collection of 300 Lords of Hell. I believe there are 5 books on it. I looked into it a bit.
I mean, there's one thing we have in common. They're not Japanese. That's
Yes,
for sure.
they're not. And he's going to look down and he's going to say, I really shouldn't lie. I did think we were missing something with the Kudlak thing, but, well, for a while now, ever since we thought that you knew him, I'd been preparing myself for the fact that when we went after him, we'd have to go up against you as well. And, well, when we stopped having to go after him, I thought, why was I doing that?
Because that's what you're meant to do. That's your role in this game. We're enemies. We're meant to be enemies. You're meant to take this away from me. And she'll just kind of hold up her hand.
And he'll look over, and I assume that it's still there.
Yeah.
And he'll be like, meant to. Well, yes, that's what we're told. But I don't know why. And if I don't know why, then I'm not going to do something. Yes, Shin said it's been important. Some other people have said that it has something to do with stopping the end. But, well... And he'll look down and he'll say, I don't want to... At the end of things, I never want to act rashly. I'm very afraid of making a mistake, because once you've made one, you can't go back and fix it.
And she'll just kind of look at her hand again and she'll be like, well, I was going to put up a fight, but it seems you had a bit more people on your side.
Right. People on your side. Enough people get together. Enough of them want the same thing. Majority rule. Or, if someone's strong enough, they just take it. And he'll look down and he'll say, that's the way things are. It shouldn't be, but it is.
Well,
but it's not like how many people we had mattered. In the end, we never fought.
A part of me wishes, well, not just a part, but I wish it would have been that way. Otherwise, it would have felt fair. Life's not fair, isn't it? Is it?
No, it's not. And he'll look and he'll think for a moment, and then he'll say, it's not fair. People are born with different things. People are born into better situations or worse. At the end of the day, the only thing we all have in common is that we all got a life. That's really it, isn't it?
I guess you'll just kind of kick her feet back and forth, and she'll be like, "Well, I'll give you something. If you can give me a good reason why I shouldn't be leaving and trying to find him right now, then I need something."
Okay. I'm gonna roll his understanding and his expression together. And it's just for me.
Alright.
Alright. So understanding well, expression poor. Okay, I'll think for a second. Inrio will say, I could think of so many reasons, but well, I guess there are only there's only one I'd like to say, but there are two that are relevant. One that would probably hurt you even more if I said it, and the other one, the one I'd much prefer to say. Which one do you want?
I mean, why not pile on the hurt? I've got plenty enough. And with this, well, it'll only empower me.
If you leave now, even if you find him, you wouldn't be able to have what you did before. We made a deal. We made a deal. Until we've collected the cards, until we've stopped this end, he's not going to get involved with humans in that way.
In what way?
In the way that he did with you, in whatever way it was that you were able to change him. You could probably find him, and then, once we've solved this, which I promise you we will, that deal would be over. But it might hurt you more if you go after him now and find him before that happens.
And she'll just kind of look down and she'll be like, wow, you guys are assholes.
Yeah.
So,
But it's something you should know. After all, it's another thing that we've done to you.
even if I could find him, even though he put a fucking spell on my shit that would eliminate any traces of him, you're saying that even if I did, even if the off chance I did, nothing could happen because he made a deal where he can't see me because he literally can't.
He thought it was important enough that we... Or he was just going to kind of start laughing. He thought it was important enough that we save the world. And he's laughing at the absurdity of it. He thought it was enough that someone was forced to do it. If he just told us all that from the beginning, that that's what he wanted, we would have done it anyways.
You just said earlier you weren't going to get them because you didn't understand.
I'm not going to take them until I understand. But, and this is one thing that I've been told, and I want to quickly find the truth of it, is that if we do have them, we can change things, make that future we went to not happen. Once I have even the smallest bit of proof that is the case, then there's something that we need to get somehow or the other.
She'll just kind of sigh and she'll be like, well, my exit plan's been ruined. I'm glad you told me. It would have saved me. It saved me a lot of heartache.
Well, it's not exactly the reason I wanted you not to leave, but it works. I guess everyone else who cares about you is going to be happy you're not vanishing into the mist.
So what is the other reason then, apart from the practical one?
Apart from the practical one. I've been thinking for a while. Well, life's not fair like we've already established. The people who win are the more powerful or the ones who get together and have the same dream. And if what you were working on was trying to stop whatever it is that's coming, that's what we were working on. And they might seem to be the same dream, right? But they're not. They're not, because they're going towards the same place, Rio's going to say. And he's starting to sound a bit out of it at this point. They might seem like they're heading towards the same place, but they're going towards it in opposite directions. You were going to do everything with Kudlak by yourself, with the power he gave you, using your own might. We were coming together to try and get it. We had the same goal, but totally opposite dreams. And then, at the end of it, we won. Our dream is the one that gets to continue going on. We get to continue trying what you're doing, and you're forever apart from Kudlak. So, what does that make us responsible for? What does that make us responsible with our victory? And I was thinking that the only right thing to do, the only thing that I can do, is that if it's still possible, I have to keep all those people who have a good dream, who have the good reason to go towards. I have to keep them hopeful that we'll be able to make a world where they can get a little bit of it back. Because we're the ones who tore it away from them.
She'll just kind of look away, and she'll be like, so you are sorry then? Sorry, not sorry.
No, just sorry. I can't stop, and I can't take back what I've done, and I can't change it, but I am sorry about it.
Well, what I said still rings true. We are still enemies. But now that Kudlak's gone, I suppose. Well, there's one less person on my side. I guess eventually you'll get this. You know that I have a card.
Right.
You know that the person you've been talking to wants it back. And she'll just kind of laugh at this as if it's absurd. Like it doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll be like, but, well, it won't be as easy to take it from me than getting the church to come on your side.
Yeah, well. We burn our bridges. I just hope I didn't do that for everyone. Like I said, I didn't want to let... And he stops for a moment and then says, no, I guess I can be honest. I didn't want to let outsiders, and that's not just because they're foreign, but people who weren't involved in this until we asked them to, solve the problems for us. I do hope that they don't choose to make us enemies, though, or to think that that reflects poorly on the town.
She'll just kind of laugh again, and she'll be like, you haven't got it yet, have you? Despite people telling you otherwise.
What?
They aren't involved.
Aren't involved?
In this whole business, and she'll just kind of wave her hands about.
Oh, well, yes, a lot of people have said that. I don't really believe that people are uninvolved, but even if you're uninvolved in this, he says, waving the hand identically and then pointing towards hers, they're still in this town. We still did something they dislike, and now we still have to bear those consequences. Hopefully only I do, but that seems unlikely.
I suppose you're not going to be getting into the tower anytime soon.
I suppose not. You know, we do want to do it to save the world, he says again, and he actually does the air quotes this time, to stop that future. And when that happens, that means that the contract we made is going to be over with.
And she'll just kind of be like, then, truth be told, wouldn't be the same anymore then.
No, it wouldn't. But I'm telling
At
you
the-
because... No, you go on.
At the end of the day, I'm human. He's a demon. As soon as the thing that he was fighting against is gone, well, what reason does he have to fight for anymore? I guess a part of me was... Well, never mind.
And he'll say, I'm sorry. I'm not really the romantic type like Kazuhaya, but it seems very tragic to me.
She'll just kind of wave it off, and she'll be like, whatever.
For what it's worth, I'm still not looking forward to fighting you. Especially now. I think you're very strong. You have the convictions, the same type that I do, that we all have. The conviction that we want to succeed in something more than anything. And he'll look down and say, so I'm very scared of the day we'll have to fight.
Well, it's not exactly like our patrons are, well, uncomplicated.
Right. Maybe one day when I have a better position, I'll ask you about that. But now doesn't seem like the time.
Yes. Unfortunately for you, I'm very well aware that I have this. You. Number 12, isn't it?
Yes? Yes, I think so.
I guess we're kind of in the same boat then. The moon isn't so far apart from the hanged man.
Right. Right. If you ever need anything, if you're ever in trouble like this again, don't hesitate to ask for help. Since I've done this to you, offering that's the only thing I can do.
Well, you're the only person I can stomach to talk to you right now. Everybody else just seems to pass the buck.
And he's just going to look and say, I'm the only one you can stomach to talk to? Oh, forgive me if I don't sound sympathetic, but that seems a bit pathetic coming from you. I thought you hated me.
Hate you? Just because you're a nerd who used to wear glasses doesn't mean I hate you.
Disagree with then.
You're just a bit stuck up, that's all. And besides, you chose her. Well, even me, so it's not my problem, is it?
And he's just going to look a bit confused and is just going to shake his head and go, right. Well.
You look better with them off, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Everyone tells me that. I guess one day I'll have to accept that.
Insecurity is not an attractive trait, Ogatu.
Well, it's a good thing I'm not trying too hard to be attractive at the moment, then.
Well, you can tell that my standards are certainly high. You just need to be a demon. In one way or another.
Right. Well, I mean, he'll think for a moment and then say, well, I suppose there's nothing wrong with getting with a And he's going to think again, and then go, kind of jokingly, nothing wrong with getting with a fake man. Lots of women do it.
Well, I've got a long way to walk back.
Right. You're walking back?
I walked out here.
You know there's a bus stop about 5 minutes away, right?
Yeah. It's not as dramatic, though, is it?
Much more efficient. Yeah.
Not everything has to be by the book.
Well, there's not a book for everything.
You sure about that?
Well, I suppose there's a book about everything, but I don't believe there is a book that is going to instruct you on the proper etiquette to have when consoling someone about the fact that the demon they were involved with is now gone and that they have no one left to rely on except someone they've tended to disagree with.
Very specific.
Exactly. Some demon may have a book similar to that somewhere, but I doubt a human's penned it.
Metaphors, you take them quite literally, don't you?
It's the only edge I have if we're going to talk about metaphors.
She'll just kind of sigh and she'll be like, well, for now all the fight's been taken out of me, and she'll just kind of scratch her arms and she'll be like, and I wasn't looking for one to begin with. I mean, if you want to try and take the card away by yourself, I mean, go ahead, but this thing's pretty nasty.
And he'll say, I think I have an idea what the cards are like, and what getting one of them might be like. I had a highly speculative encounter with one. It's not pleasant, and I don't really wish to do anything else unpleasant right now.
So, and she'll just kind of get up and she'll be like, so I suppose now you'll have an inkling of what we were trying to do then, and how they are related.
A bit of one, yes. And he'll he actually never sat down, but he'll just kind of reposition himself and be like, something of an inkling. You know, it's weird. Out of everyone I've talked to over the past few months, today, you and Kudlak, you made the most things clear.
Well, that's a worry, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Well, never look a gift horse in the mouth.
Right, Rio Ma.
Oh, I didn't realize you'd looked at any of the records.
Of course I need to keep a tag on who's going to come after me.
Right. Well, you can put that aside. I don't think we're going to do anything before the break is over.
Yes, I get to spend my holidays with my dear mother and dear sister.
Right. I suppose I don't know much what that's like. I mean, I am looking forward to going back. It is a long walk. We should start now.
Oh, right. Well, I guess I won't object.
Right.
I'm kind of used to being forced to do things against my will today, so I'll just let it slide.
No, I'm just suggesting. You can stay if you want. I'm simply saying I intend to head off now. It's entirely up to you now.
Let's just get going.
Alright. And I suppose they'll walk for a bit, and then Rio will say, there's something I really need to ask you. Something important and just a bit personal.
Alright.
When we were in the Rift, and you went off, and then I went off as well, at the City Hall, I'm sorry, but I found you in quite the bound state.
You didn't do anything, did you?
No, of course not. I
I
simply
mean,
asked
I
you a question.
figured that would be. I would have been impressed.
I simply asked you a question and then took you away when it appeared you'd gone too far. Anyways, the question I asked was, you appeared to know something about what was going on, and I asked you who the man that Nightingale was talking to. And the only thing you were able to say was Rose. I need to know what that means, because that man may have answers about what happened generally in the future, and he just kind of looks down for a moment, and more specifically, what's happened to my cousins.
And she'll just say, well, what's in it for me if I tell you? Do you really think after everything that's happened, I get anything from it?
And he will stop, and I assume that she'll stop in a second when she realizes he's not walking anymore. And he's going to bow down and then go, no, that's not enough. And he's going to get on the ground and do a very respectful Japanese begging posture, and he'll say, whatever it is that I have that you want and is in my power to give, I will for that information. It's something that I must know. Anything I can do.
Mm. And she'll just kind of cross her arms and she'll be like, all right, you can get up. I can tell you. Don't have to be so serious.
And he'll get up and say, sorry, but, well, I can't help myself sometimes.
Gee. I know you're kind of like a vision of the past, but I didn't think you'd do that kind of stuff.
Right. Well, sorry, I didn't know how else to express myself.
Mm. It was effective. I mean, I guess the only thing I'd ask is that we do it together, you know.
Fine.
I mean, I need all the allies I can get, and it's not really something I can tell anybody else.
Fine, then. For the price of me getting to do the thing I want, I will do the thing that you want with you. I expected something costlier.
Right. Well, I suppose I'll give some backdrop. Is that you know about Igarashi? She gave me a temporary boost to the contract that I made with my persona, which is why that my senses were set every time I managed to run into trouble. As well, my senses are connected to Kaharu's.
Right.
It's a one-way street. Don't ask about that. But the point is, what I was saying back then is, I'm very well acquainted with Mr. Rose.
Okay. So since she said Mr. Rose, and I know it's a name now, would it be too much to say that Rio remembers the Mr. Rose that's at the place, the, what's it called, Smile, that Mai told him to think about when he goes there?
And we saw in business class.
Yeah, that Mai told him to be like, just talk to him.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you'd have to roll a 1 on it. Knowledge.
Okay.
Does he even have to roll knowledge?
Welcome back, friends. I mean, he'll still know virtually nothing besides the fact that he's already heard that before, and he'll say, I see. I assume that you have a lot more to tell me. But we're not going to deal with that today, so I'll leave it up to you when to do that. Now or later, it's your choice.
Well, I was going to skip test weeks looking for Kulak, but I can't do that now.
Right. Right. Well, I suppose you'll have a lot of studying to catch up on then.
I studied my favorite subject.
Well, if that's the subject that matters, then that's really all we can ask for.
We?
Yes, sorry, the school. I am on the student council.
You and Tuber.
Yes, right. Oh, thank you for reminding me of that. I will need to ask her when we'll be able to study. After all, we should get one cram session in before the tests.
Asking a gal to study privately with you? Gee.
I do not mind if she wishes to invite anyone else.
I didn't know you were into that.
It seems most efficient.
Efficient?
Yes, you can get everyone together to get all their needs taken care of at once, with the most beneficial people. It's quite the better way to learn. That's why teaching is no longer done one-on-one.
Oh god, you take everything so literally.
Well, otherwise I'd simply be following you into ludity.
She'll just kind of laugh. Well, and she'll be like, "Ugh, I give up. It's not fun."
And what's not fun?
You know, when people take what I say like seriously.
Oh, right. My apologies. If you think that I'm taking what you say seriously, I am quite joking with you. I get what you mean. I just don't wish to, humor you. Well, humor is not the right word. That makes it sound very bad on my end.
So you're not trying to neg me?
No, not intentionally.
You know what that is? Jeez.
What's your BMI, dude? Phaser set to go. Got a track?
Right.
Check
Well, it's
mark.
good to see you're back to the self that you're back to the you that I've come to know before today.
Yes. The evil twin.
If that's what you want to call yourself.
Neg. Alright. I guess at this point we can go to view at the temple.
Yeah, I've stopped her from leaving. Now it's up to Matoki and Akira.
Yeah, Matoki and Akira's distant assistants. I don't think she'd help
Wait.
at this point.
We're leaving this all on Matoki's shoulders? Oh,
What? He's a good boy! What's wrong with you?
He's
He's
also a
friends with
magician like
Raph.
Raph.
He's a good boy!
Well, it's better than Kaharu's shoulders.
Yeah, she's fucking stupid. Okay. She's
Alright.
a rapist.
So I guess we'll be doing. So, what were you planning to do at the temple, by the way?
Ryu was probably going to. Well, his big goal was basically to find out what exactly was this whole thing he has to do to figure out what the churches and him in the dark deal. Plus, he was going to see if he was going to talk to someone who seems to know about exorcism.
Alright. So you're just asking about it in general?
Well,
Did you say church or shrine?
shrine.
You meant shrine, but
Yeah.
yeah, I know what you meant.
Okay, good. I'm just.
Yeah, I guess he'd kind of ask about the exorcism in general, mostly because he's not too sure about, at least to the staff, not sure about the other side. Considering the people he went through were all at the top, he's not quite sure who to talk to at the bottom.
Alright, so since I said it was a good feeling in the city, if you're trying to look for Katsu, he'll be around. Usually he won't be available, but he'll actually be out of his private study, just tending to the temple. If you want to talk to somebody else, that's fine, but the option is there for you.
Well, since he
Also
really has
location.
no idea, then I guess he's going to go talk to him. Maybe to
Yeah.
figure out who's going to be the mediator between all of this.
There's also